Hello and welcome to
Malvern Gazelle News.
I'm Ray Toland.
And I'm Kath Buck.
And this edition is coming to you from...
Deepest, darkest Africa, Ray.
And I bet you're wondering why. Well, over the festive period, the Swahilan government actually saw the Malvern Gazelle on the website and thought it was actually rather spiffing.
Super.
So they decided to sponsor the show. Marvellous, isn't it? Which actually means that today's broadcast is going out live on Channel 7 in Swaziland. So a big yabo to all our brothers in Africa.
Here we are, Jamboni!
Jamboni, Carabishu, Tope, Carabishu.
Tope. Coming up.
Coming up. But first, here's the news.
Ray, it's big, it's bronze, and it's hairy. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, I'm a bit puzzled, but are you talking about David Dickinson?
I'm talking Freya Dupont.
Ah, Freya Dupont, the
Dupont.
world... Dupont, the French, the famous French... the famous French sculptress who, with the aid of Malvern Hills District Community Council system scheme... Yes, Freya Dupont is planning, with the aid of Malvern Hills District Council, to build a giant, enormous bronze moustache on top of the beacon.
Elgar's moustache, Ray.
Elgar's moustache.
Yeah, but I'm a bit concerned because I've got a major problem with facial hair. Who's your chimp friend, Ray?
Ah, that's Colin, the chimp, an old friend. And speaking of old, the pension crisis that's currently afflicting the country at large has a particular resonance in Malvern because of the curative properties of Malvern water. Indeed, some residents in Malvern are living to extraordinary old ages.
Ridiculous ages, Ray. Only the other day I bumped into a 212-year-old.
212? Well, that's got to be the oldest man in Malvern.
I was, yes. It was rather a nasty collision.
To investigate this problem, I went down to London the other day to look at it firsthand, and well, here's my live report.
I can barely contain my excitement.
Old people. Yes, everyone gets old, even you. What are we going to do when we get old? That's the question I've come to London to find out. Now back to the studio. Kath.
Impressive stuff. Moving on. Al-Qachizi are facing strict new legislation as Parliament sits for a debate on the growing problem of cheese terrorism.
That's right. I went down...
Did you?
Yes, indeed, to London, once more, to give you a live report from the Palace of Westminster.
Congestion charge, Ray.
I'm speaking to you from outside the Palace of Westminster, where the British Parliament is sitting debating new anti-terrorist laws in the wake of increasing attacks by Al-Qachizi, the international pasteurisation terrorist organisation. The question they're asking themselves is this new legislation sound, or is it full of holes? Or does it stink? Or has it got a crusty rind on it with a soft interior that's a bit squidgy? Or has it got some mould going through it? This is Ray Toland at the Houses of Parliament for the Malvern Gazelle.
Mould.
Anyway, have you ever seen a snuff movie?
One or two.
Well, a Ghanaian friend who I met the
Purely
other
for
day.
research purposes.
Of course, of course. Well, being in Africa as we are, a Ghanaian friend of mine said, why don't you try some Ghanaian snuff? Well, always willing to take a risk. I said, yes, why not? So this is the stuff. It's apparently very spiritual and, well...
You could go into a trance, Ray, couldn't you?
Well, let's hope so. Blimey.
Should I have some?
Yeah, do you want some? I've got loads of it here.
Oh my God!
And if anyone of you at home want to try some of this, then we've got bloody loads of it, so just please.
What the fuck? What is that?
Some runny nose.
Going all over the place.
Anyway, moving on with the news.
That's my moustache.
Oh, it is, sorry.
Would you like one, Ray? Sorry.
No, I've given up.
Have you? How's it going?
It's going fine. It was a New Year's resolution, and I haven't smoked since New Year's Eve.
You're still on the crack?
Oh, yeah, still on the crack. Yeah, I mean, one thing at a time.
Well, yeah, softly, catch your monkey.
Oh, absolutely.
Colin.
Yeah. Idiots. American idiots. Do you know any, Kath?
How many people are there in America?
About 192 million, I believe. I suppose you've heard of the Elgar route.
I have trodden round that trail many a time.
Yeah, the Elgar route, of course, is where Elgar used to ride his penny farthing round the lanes of Worcestershire and Herefordshire.
Composing tunes as he went.
I expect you're wondering where we're going with this, tying in American idiots.
We are.
And Elgar. Kath, I'll leave that one to you.
Well, yes, a bunch of hapless American tourists found themselves stranded in Elgar Avenue.
The American tourists were on a coach going round Elgar Avenue when they were hijacked and held to ransom by a group of hooded youths.
Hooded youths.
Hooded youths, and the scourge of Malden, who actually forced the Americans to buy rather cheap and tacky memorabilia from Elgar's time.
I think all in all, the group of tourists parted with about £50,000.
Mm-hmm. That's right, they bought several items, such as, I think, some syringes that Elgar purportedly used, and
his denture jar.
And an old spoon that had a bit charred, but apparently he used to stir his tea with that, so...
Looking rather jaded, Ray. You okay?
Yeah, well, you know, it's just getting over that Christmas party, really.
I think it's not smoking. You need to start again. Too sweet.
Well, it might be that snuff. But for those of you who came to the Christmas party, here's a big thanks.
What a night.
What a night. I mean, Reverend Ray and the Gazettes, what a stonking band they were.
They certainly were, yes.
Yes, and obviously, you know, we were charging for entry that night, and
very reasonable.
You often charge for entry, but it's a different story. But we actually made, you know, a fair sum of money, and with the proceeds, we managed to buy ourselves a little present. So, big thank you. What did we get?
Sore testicles.
And the small fish supper. A new year.
A new danger.
A new weather.
Icy roads, slippy pavements.
Old people falling down, breaking hips.
Disasters.
With the weather, here's your favourite and mine.
Psychedelic Steph.
Hey, Gazelle viewers. How's it going? Well, I hope. Today, out of the square window, we have some weather. I'm not going to do a weather report now, though, because it's raining and it's cloudy. So catch me on page 9 and you'll find out what's happening with the weather. Till then, love you.
Kath.
Ray.
Kath.
Ray. Coming up.
Kath.
Next.
Next.
Live.
Kath, do you feel lucky?
Not particularly, no. Why do you ask?
Well, apparently the luckiest man in the world lives in Malvern.
Quentin Strange.
That's right, yes. Our Quentin was contacted by several people on the internet who, well, they say that several of his relatives died, leaving a huge fortune that he could claim.
Haven't we all been contacted?
Well, I certainly have been. I didn't take it seriously, but Quentin sold his house to raise £16,000 in order to gain £322 million.
Although he's technically destitute now, he's still looking forward to the arrival of his big fat cheque.
So any day now, eh,
Stupid
Quentin?
fool. What's your favourite quality street, Ray?
I'd have to say the nutty ones, you know, little purple ones with the nutty sign.
The noisettes.
If that's what they're called, yes.
Well, I think they are. I might not have pronounced it correctly, but they're little green triangles.
Oh, no, the purple ones. With nuts inside.
You just said green.
Did I?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I meant to say purple.
Mine are the toffee pennies. So perhaps we could do a swap.
So, what do you do with all those leftover quality streets at the end of the Christmas period?
Well, Malvern Man's come up with an ingenious idea of what you can do with your leftover ones that you don't like.
Malvern Man, is that like pit down man? Malvern Man, Worcester woman.
Combined to make Evesham child.
So, tell me more about Malvern Man.
Well, a Malvern Man's come up with an ingenious scheme whereby we can all take along our residual quality streets and do a swap.
That was sort of a swap shop for chocolates.
Yeah. So you could bring along your toffee pennies and I could bring along those purple ones with the
All the
nuts
green
in,
ones.
surrounded by caramel.
Noisettes.
All the noisettes. And we could swap
That's
with
genius.
somebody else's.
Absolute genius. What a marvellous idea. We could maybe extend that and, you know, trade in old stale mince pies and maybe Christmas cakes and things like that. Do you like a mince pie?
Stuffing.
You like a stuffing? Well, that just about wraps it up for this edition of Malvern Gazelle News. Just like to say goodbye to all the viewers out there and all the viewers out there in Swaziland. And of course, it's goodbye from Colin the Chimp as well. We'll see you next time. But Kath, I think you'd like to say something in Swahili.
I would. Kahiri Asante.
Kwaheri Asante. Yebo.
Peace.